Ultraman, here he comes from the sky. Ultraman, Ultraman, watch our hero fly. In a super jet he comes from a billion miles away, from a distant planet land. Comes our hero, Ultraman.
It really is the best. In fact, my name is David Colton. I work at USA Today, but I'm also the organizer of the Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards, and Monsterpalooza won as Best Horror Convention of 2012. We'll be giving Eliot Brodsky a little later. We're on a pretty tight schedule today. At 5 o'clock, there's a panel with Charlie Gamora, about Charlie Gamora, the king of the Gorilla Men. And then at 6 o'clock, there's the live auction for charity, so we're going to have to move it along here. But last year, Hiroko Nakajima was here, the man who played Godzilla. And anybody who was here just will never forget that. And I think we have something similar for today. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the Science Patrol, who kept us safe. And we have several members of the Science Patrol today. And Furuya, who played Ultraman in all 39 episodes. So I'm going to introduce Jim Cirinella, who's going to host this for everybody, and introduce the Science Patrol and Ultraman.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming. Our Japanese guests are overwhelmed by the show of support, and you know, all the fans coming and bringing photos and memorabilia to be signed. I really appreciate it. So let's bring them in. We have Susumu Kurobe, who is we have Brad Warner is going to be translating for us. Thanks, Brad. Thank you. I will start off. I have a question. Actually, comes from Monsterpalooza's organizer, Eliot Brodsky. It's for Kurobe-san. He wants to know: have you seen What's Up, Tiger Lily? and what do you think of that?
Darren.
The original title is Key of Keys.
No.
No. Easy to translate.
Sorry, I got not to speak English very.
Very bad.
Very bad.
Just so everybody knows, What's Up, Tiger Lily was a Toho film that Woody Allen cut as a comedy. It was the real title is like International Secret Police Key of Keys. And Kurobe-san, as well as many Toho actors from the Godzilla films and other films are in that film. But Woody Allen cut it as a comedy, so Eliot wanted to know if he actually saw it when he thought it. Not much, I guess. Do you have any questions? Oh, come on. This happened last night at the Living Dead one. You know, I have to get everybody going, and then when we have 5 minutes left, then everybody's raising their hand.
Was it easy for you to, for
for Kurobe-san and Sakurai-san, was it easy for you to come back and reprise the roles? Because I know Kurobe-san keeps coming back as Hayata.
最近桜井さんがもう一回しました。それは
それは何？
ウルトラマックスの時
マックス
OK
In Ultraman Max.
Yes.
マックスでは
早田ではマックスでは早田ではないんですよ。
In Ultraman Max, he didn't play Hayata.
すいません
富岡長官
He played Tomioka
Shogun,そうそう
Yes, yes.
Commander.
私も藤明子ではなくて吉永教授
So she didn't play Fuji Akiko, she played
Yoshinaga.
Yoshinaga. Professor Yoshinaga.
藤明子は無理
でも、
She said she couldn't have done Fuji Akiko.
why do you with like the like in Ultraman, the Supreme Ultraman 8 movie?
Oh,
Yeah, like when he did that, or when he was in Ultraman Saga.
サーガ
Yeah, so.
よく知ってるね。
You know a lot.
八兄弟はとってもいい作品だと思いますよね。
But the Ultraman 8 Brothers was a great movie.
8兄弟は早田と藤明子がマリッジしたんですよ
In
ストーリーの中で
in the story of Ultraman 8 Brothers, Fuji Akiko and Hayata were married.
すごく嫌だった
She thought it was
うち
terrible.
のマイワイフがね、マイワイフが very jealousy。
私は早田はタイプではない
Hayata's not her type.
私もアキコ、藤明はタイプではなかったんです。
This Fuji Akiko isn't my type either.
My question was for each one of them. How did they get the original role for when the series started?
最近私も聞いたんですけど、どうやって初めてウルトラマン
私は東宝ムービー、ジャパニーズムービーカンパニーのね、
He was working for Toho.
専属ってなんていうんだろう。
It's like a contract? Okay. He was a contract player for Toho at the time.
で、その早田という役にはオーディションだったんです、
So
ね。
there was no audition for Hayata.
で、会社が君、この早田の役をやりなさいという命令の一言で、この役をやったんです。
The company just kind of came to him and gave him the order, you are going to be Hayata.
私は東宝カンパニーで黒部さんよりも2年先輩だったんです。
So she worked for, she was in Toho also 2 years before Kurobe-san.
先輩
So she's the
年
senpai.
年下の先輩です。
So she's a younger senpai. I don't know if you guys know senpai. Senpai is like a higher up or lower.
それでウルトラ Q という番組では最初にオーディションを2回やりましてで2回目にOK になってはい
She auditioned twice for the TV program Ultra Q, and during the second audition, she was given the part.
江戸川由里子
You
それでスピンオフでウルトラマンの藤明子隊をやって隼人さんと、一緒に仕事をやってすごい楽しかったです
She was
もう
really.
楽しかったです。
They were both really happy to get to work together as Fuji and Hayata in the show in Ultraman. So, Furuya-san, 同じ質問です。
同じ質問より今の2人の会話は全て嘘ですから
He's saying what they just said is all a lie.
僕は知ってまして嘘ばっかり言ってます
It's just lies. It's all lies.
そんなわけで僕が3人の中で一番先輩なんです東宝撮影所では
Of all the three, he's the one who was longest at Toho.
年は一番上なんですで2番目岡さんが一番低いんですけど
全部嘘ですから。
Sorry, I'm trying to get that. He's saying which one is older, and I'm the oldest, and sorry. Anyway, you got the gestures. I know.
一番でも一番威張ってる。
一番やばい。
これが。
Oh, the most dangerous. The most strong. Oh, he's the strongest. The strongest.
ゴッドマザ
こういう話をしながらウルトラマンという素晴らしい作品ができたんです。
And because of this kind of talk, Ultraman became a great program.
ー。Unbelievable.
Do you have any memories that you'd like to share of Eiji Tsuburaya?
エイジツブラに関して思い出がありますか？
最初に円谷監督に呼ばれて僕がウルトラマンのスーツアクターをやった時にエイジ監督がウルトラマンは子供に夢を与えるって素晴らしい作品にするんだよっていうことを言われたんです。
When he was first asked by Eiji Tsuburaya to play the role of Ultraman, Eiji Tsuburaya told him this is going to be a great program to give wonderful dreams to children.
それで今ここにいらっしゃる人たちはそのウルトラマンの子供の時に夢を見て今だにウルトラマンから離れられない方たちが素晴らしいファンの方がいらして僕はすごい嬉しいです。
So he's saying he's very happy to see all you people out here because you are the people who, when you were children, watched Ultraman and had those great dreams about Ultraman.
残念ながら皆さんはもうちょっとで天国に行ってしまうんです。
いいえ言わないいいえ言わない
M78 世代
Whether I should say what he just said. He said it's regrettable, but all of you are going to be going to heaven soon.
最初に黒部さんです。
But the first, she just said the first will be Kurobe.
後ろの方に
2回目は2番目は古谷さんです。
The second one is just Furuya-san.
私はずっと生きてます。
She'll be alive a long time. It's a zombie, he said.
Right here.
This is not an easy translation.
Hello.
I want to hear what was the physical training involved to play Ultraman.
ウルトラマンをやってた時はどの
トレーニング。
トレーニングは
何しました？
何をしましたか？ありがとうございます。
多分何もしないと思うけど。
She says probably he didn't do anything.
毎日お酒を飲んでガールフレンドと遊んでいました。
Every day drinking sake and hanging out with his girl.
それは本当です。
That's the truth.
僕は真剣にみんな2人と違って真剣に一生懸命空手をやったりタップダンスやったり体を動かすために一生懸命いろんなことをやりました。
He's saying in contrast to these two, I was very diligently practicing karate. He said tap dancing and just basically training his body.
タップダンス関係ないと思うけど。
She thinks tap dance has nothing to do with it.
ウルトラマンタップダンス踊んないもん。
Yeah, Ultraman did tap dance.
これは本当の話。
This is the truth, he's saying.
撮影終わってマイホームに帰って鏡の前でスペシウム光線シュワッチこれを
He's saying every day he would go home and in front of his mirror do the swatch. every day 300 times.
多分嘘だと思いますけど。
That's probably true, she said.
As you can tell, this is very difficult.
じゃあ一番怪獣の戦いどれ一番which was your favorite?
Favorite
一番好きな怪獣の戦い怪獣はどんな好き？
レッドキング。
Red King.
一番嫌いなのは藤明子隊。
The one who hated most was Fuji Akiko.
私はモンスターではありません。
I'm not a monster.
Right there.
What is this suit? The Ultraman suit. Okay, cross it.
Where is the suit now?
今ウルトラマンのスーツはどこ？
Original.
最初の。
最初のスーツは溶けてなくなりました。ゴムだから。
The first suit just melted.
I only know of the Ultraman Taro suit, which was years later. I know that still exists, but I think everything else is gone.
Yeah, I worked for Tsuburaya for a long time. A lot of that stuff is just the one of the Beatles is still around, or was still around when I was there, but most of it's long gone.
There's a big collector in Japan who archives and maintains this stuff. He has a few items, but as far as an original suit, it's not around, unfortunately. Question?
For each member of the panel, at what point during the series did they realize how popular it would become, not just in Japan, but stateside?
シリーズをやってた時はいつでそのシリーズは人気さを出てきました。
もうウルトラマンは39本撮ったんですよね。
So there were 39 episodes of Ultraman.
で10本目ぐらいからですね。
Around the episode 10.
で視聴率って分かるかな。
Yeah, the ratings. There were ratings.
一番高いので 43%。
So it was 43% was the
で
rating.
7時ぐらいになると子供たちがもう外で遊んでいない、みんな家に帰ってウルトラマンを見て、お風呂にも子供たちがいなかったっていうぐらい伝説が。
About 7 o'clock in the evening when the show was on, children weren't playing outside, they weren't taking baths, they were glued to the set.
でもそのウルトラマンがいい数字を上げたのはウルトラ Q があったからです。ウルトラ Q が一番。
She's saying that it was because of the popularity of Ultra Q that Ultraman. We didn't get Ultra Q over here, but it was tremendously popular when it was on.
拍手来ないね。
She's saying nobody applauded.
Ultra Q わかる人います？
Is there anybody here who knows about Ultra Q?
Thank you.
I worked for Tsuburaya for years, and apparently 4 episodes were dubbed into English, but they were never shown, and I was never able to find them in our archives or anything.
YouTube.
I don't know. One of them may be on YouTube, but
Yeah, I've seen them on YouTube.
yeah.
YouTube 4つのエピソードは英語に
YouTube で上がったの。
探して
でもカラーになったから DVD 買ってくれるように言ってくれる？ウルトラ Q がカラーになったから。いいよもう。いいよもう。
Oh yeah. There's the color version of Ultra Q has come out, so everybody look for that.
Please.
In Japan only. Yeah, just gentleman right here.
Other than the original Ultraman, which Ultraman do you like the best?
初代マン以外はどのウルトラマン
She said we hate them all. I think she's joking.
他のウルトラマン
ゼロ。
Zero. Ultraman Zero. Okay, Ultraman Zero.
僕はウルトラマンだけ。
He only likes Ultraman. Okay, let me get him right there.
With the battles being so physical, what was the worst injury you may have sustained?
ウルトラマンの戦い、トム・クルーズさん、ウルトラマンの戦いはすごいですから、なんか、インジュリー怪我
はね、すぐもうセットに入って戦うともうすぐ怪我してしまいます。すごい怪獣が強いんで、ウルトラマンはスーツが薄いんです。ゴム。
So yeah, he would get injured very quickly on the set because whereas the monster costumes are very thick, the Ultraman costume is very thin.
だから釘を踏んづけたりね。釘はある。
Yeah, so like a nail or something could rip.
戦っててね、釘を踏んづけたりして。
If you step on a nail or something, because the sets are all wood and
足に刺さったりね、手に刺さったりして火薬が体に。
Oh, right. So when they did the fire scenes, also the suit would get hot.
毎日怪我してました。
So every day he got injured.
今も怪我してますって言ってくれる。頭に。
And even now he's getting injured in his head.
Okay. Question.
ウルトラマンが結構最初と最後の頃で姿勢が変わっていったんですけど、比較的最初の頃はかがんでたんですけど、だんだんこう起きてる感じがしたんですけど、いかがですか？
He's saying from let me see if I got this right. From the beginning of the series to this is for Furuya-san. From the beginning of the series to the end of the series, Ultraman's his pose changed from being very kind of bent over to being straight up. So why is that?
それはギャラが高くなった。
his pay got higher.
変わりませんでした。
And he said the pay never went up.
ウルトラマンは仮面が3種類ある。
So there were 3 different types of masks.
A タイプ、B タイプ、C タイプ。
A type, B type, C type.
最初は僕の体に全くフィットっていうか、もう僕の体だけっていう感じで A タイプをやってたんです。そうすると僕の体の線はかなり猫背っていうか細い線だったんで、ああいう形をしてました。で、
ちょっと
僕の体のまま。
Okay, so the suit was originally created to fit just him, but it was tight. So that's right. So it fit very tightly, forcing him to kind of crouch over.
それで B タイプになって仮面が変わりました。
So in the B type, the mask was
スタイルが
changed.
マスクが。その時にくっついてきたのは今度筋肉をつけようという。
That's right. And then they added some muscles, some padding to look like muscles on the shoulders.
そうすると自分のこの細い体がだんだんこうごつくなってきて。
So his own kind of thin physique became, looking a lot more muscular.
猫背にならなくなってきたっていうのが一つの。
So it didn't tighten up like the other one.
僕は一番好きなのは A タイプです。要するに最初のスタイルが一番好き。
So the one he liked best was the A type, the very first version of Ultraman.
ちなみに黒部さんは D タイプです。
By the way, Kurobe-san is D type.
血液タイ
血液型は O です。
My blood type is O. Right here.
Cast members talk about their favorite episodes.
まあみんな一番好きなエピソードその話を聞きたいです。
変身するときにフラッシュビームを
So when he did the transformation scene, he would
そ
go
の
like
時
that.
に撮影怪獣が出てきたという時みんなでカレーライスを食べてる。
So in the scene where the monster was coming, everybody was eating curry.
Being a spoon and
That was the one that left the biggest impression on him.
Skydon episode.
Sky.
そうそう。
じゃあさくらさん。
私は真面目に答えます。
She's going to answer seriously.
ジャミラの話が一番女の子が分かる話なので。
She thought the monster, the episode with the monster Gemilar, the astronaut went into space and got transformed into a monster, was the one that, as a woman, she felt was the one that a woman would understand best. That episode.
真面目ですよ、本当です。
And that's her real, true feeling.
私も本当の話を。
He's gonna also tell the truth.
今までは全部嘘だった。
Everything before was all a lie. He keeps telling me not to translate.
今桜井さんが言ったように39本の中で一番印象があるのはやっぱりジャミラ。
So he's saying he agrees with Sakurai-san that of the 39 original episodes, the one that left the biggest impression was that Jamila episode.
ウルトラマンがジャミラを本当はああいったジャミラみたいな方は殺したくはなかった。
So he was saying that in that episode, Ultraman didn't really want to kill Jamila.
だから泣く泣く仮面の要するにマスクの中では涙を流しながらジャミラをやっつけた。そういう思い出があります。
So he was
本当に
自分があれは感情を出してやりました。
So he had so much feeling for it that he was actually crying underneath the mask as he was doing the scene where he's destroying Jamila.
Question.
During the production of the show, did you ever work together?
Did Furuya-san work together with Sakurai-san?
そのウルトラマンの撮影してた時に古谷さんは俳優さんと一緒になんか仕事をしました。
スタジオは全然別々なんですよ。
The studios were separate, the special effects studios and the other.
それで冬もそうだし夏は暑くてスタジオの中に訪ねてきてくれる方は誰もいませんでした。
So the studio was the special effects studio was very hot in the summer and very cold in the winter, so people didn't.
私たちもすごい忙しかったから行かれなかっただけですよ。
She's saying, I was just too busy to come. That's why.
すごい冷たい人たちばっか。
They're very cold people and saying they're very busy.
でも私は行ったのよ、巨大富士で。
Oh yeah, she did go one time when she had to play when Fuji becomes giant. I remember that episode where Fuji becomes giant.
Another question.
This is directed at Sakurai-san. The Gamakujira episode. What did you think of that episode?
Pearl episode. The Pearl episode.
嫌いです。
She hated it.
ガマクジラはこうやって撮ったり、魚眼レンズで撮ったり多分したと思うんですけれども、ジッソジさんっていう ディレクターが変な人だったので、ちょっとどうかなと思いました。
She in that scene, if you remember, there's a scene where she's got her nose poked up against a window, so she kind of looks like that's why she did that gesture. And he was doing all these kind of really strange kind of shots, especially of her, and she thought he's kind of a weird guy.
That's all.
Yeah, when was it first aired?
When did it first air? Almost 60.
I can ask them, but actually I think Bob back there figured out the mystery. I used to work for Tsuburaya Productions, and one of the things I tried to find out was that question, when it first aired in America. And it seems to have gotten to the West Coast almost when it was still being broadcast in Japan, so like 67 or so. I personally saw it in the mid-70s in Ohio.
It was in syndication in the 70s. Bob, do you know when it was first broadcast? 67.
Yeah, he does. He did.
7月7日だったことは確かに。7日だったことは確かに。
Well, that was the first time it was broadcast in Japan was July 7th.
だけど年数は忘れた。
But she forgets what year.
66.
My question is for Kurobe-san. You played Japan's most famous hero, but in Choho's movies you played a lot of villains. Which was more fun?
黒部さんが、日本の一番有名なヒーローをやってたんですけど、東宝の映画のとても悪い。どれがどっちが
本当なの？ヒーローよりも悪役の方が楽しいです。
He said playing a villain was more fun than playing a hero.
黒部さんはヒーローよりも悪役の方がうまい。
She's saying Kurobe is much better at playing a villain than a hero.
ヒーローは仮の姿です。
Second. Second person.
Oh, hero is the second role.
よくわかんない。
I didn't really get that. Sorry.
今までの
いえ、台本もコスチュームも小道具もすべてありません。
He doesn't have anything, any props or costume or scripts.
今から5、6年前に日本のテレビで、要するにお宝グッズ、私の着たスーツがハウマッチってオーディションのあれがあったのね。
They had about 4 or 5 years ago on a Japanese television program. They asked how much. Yeah, Japanese TV show. But they were asking how much is it worth.
100万円からのオークション。
Oh, they auctioned. Sorry. They auctioned that suit for 100万円. Let's see, 100. 10,000. No, that's 100万 is more like 100. No, 100万 is million. I'm sorry. Million. Yeah.
だけど黒部さんは5円です。
But for Kurobe-san himself was only 5 yen.
怒ってます。
忙しかったと言っておりますが、本編っていうかドラマ班は怪獣の姿とかを知って撮影とかに臨まれていたんでしょうか。
いいえ。
So he asked, did they know what the monsters were going to look like when they were doing the live action stuff? And Kurobe-san just said no.
だから知らない怪獣がいっぱい出てきて、それでみんなでそこを見て驚けって言って5人でみんなでせーの。
I think you got that. And they would just say there's a scary monster up there, and all 5 of them together and say.
Yes, with the
He wants to know where you are. Why?
No, with the Science Patrol outfits, what they wore in the show, how did it feel? I mean, was it, restricting or anything? Also, why did they pick, would they know why they picked orange? Because you stand out. You stand out.
服装タイプの制服はどの感じでした？最初。
恥ずかしくてね、着てね、街を歩けなかった。
He was very embarrassed to wear it on the street.
それはオレンジっていうのは人を助ける色だから。救命隊っていうの。
He said orange is a color that kind of represents somebody who's a helping person, who's rescuing.
オレンジ色は円谷英二さんがオレンジ色がいいって決めたというふうに聞いてます。
And Tsuburaya Eiji himself decided that orange was going to be the color.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 恥ずかしくて歩けなくない。
Like you say, he's asking, are you embarrassed to walk around?
I'm not really embarrassed about the suit or anything. I'm just curious about the color. But anything, y'all are my heroes.
I've seen the Science Patrol guy with the southern accent. Did you ever think you're going to make it this far?
That's a really hard one to translate into Japanese.
You think your popularity would last this long?
So that's better. It's much more easier to translate. Thank you. ウルトラマンの人気さ、自分たちの人気さはこのぐらいで残ると思いました。
ウルトラマンが始まって、今は47年目ですよね。
So it was 47 years since Ultraman was.
途中何年間かその脚光を浴びなかった時間があるんですけれども、その後また盛り返して今日の要するにブームが来てるので、この先まだ私は皆さんの要するに、気持ちがあればウルトラマンというのはまだブームが続くと思います。
So he's saying that after a while it seemed like maybe it was fading away, but then there came a big resurgence which has lasted ever since, and he hopes that with all of your help it will still continue.
Who performed in the Pigman suit?
ピグモンの着ぐるみは誰が入
私じゃないですよ。
It wasn't me.
私じゃないですよ。
Definitely wasn't me.
ピグモンの着ぐるみは本当は誰が入ってるか言っちゃいけないんですけれども。
She doesn't know who was actually in the Pigman costume. But it was a small person.
He asked also what's their memory of those episodes with Pigman.
そのピグモンに
いや、僕は怪獣の中で大変好きな怪獣です。ピグモンはね、可愛くて。
So
可愛そうで。
among all the monsters, he really likes Pigmon because he's cute and he's kind of kawaiso, kind of sad.
とても人間的な心を持った怪獣だと思います。
He kind of had he was a monster with kind of a human heart.
だけどピグモンはここのところギザギザの頭のところがあるでしょ。あそこは赤いんですよ。
So he had that red kind of.
で赤いなんかと分かる。スプレー、レッドスプレーをシュッってかけるんですよ。
They put that on with the red spray paint.
でアクティングが芝居をしてる時にピグモンって言って触ったら ここが真っ赤になっちゃう。
So you got that. So when she was acting with Pigmon and had to go and touch it, she got red all over.
取れなかった。
And it wouldn't come off.
Any, back there?
What was your least favorite experience working on the show?
Least favorite.
番組をやってた時の一番least favorite part。一番嫌い、尊敬。
好きなの？そうする
それ
誰？
ダメ
ダメな人？
ダメな人じゃなくて、
そう、分かった。それはディレクター。
人じゃなくて、
あんまり好きじゃないエピソード。
あんまり好きじゃないエピソードとか、あんまり好きじゃない。
エピソード嫌いなエピソード。
There's there is one.
そうですね、私たちは全員ちょっと入り込みすぎてるので仕事に、だからエピソードの中でこれは嫌いだっていうのはほとんどないですね。全部愛情があってこうなったかなっていう感じがして全部好きですね。
She's saying they like all of them. It's hard to pick one that they actually don't like.
作品はみんなアフターレコーディングだったことはご存知かな？
All of you have after
So after recording.
So did you all know that the episodes were actually shot silent and then they had to dub in their voices afterwards? That's how most of Japanese television was done at the time. She said, and.
それが大変難しかった。
Saying that was really difficult to do that.
彼は合わなかった。
合わせないように。
Oh yeah. She's saying he never matched.
I have a question. Okay. Since how long did that take that they would do for one episode, they would do the live action, then they would have to redub it? How long did it take? Normally, what was the process?
エピソードの撮影した時の撮影それが始まってダビングが控えそれが終わったまでどのぐらい時間
1週間から10日ぐらいかかる。
It took about a week to 10 days for an episode.
Yeah.
And they would do them two at a time. The
2 episodes at a time.
Along the same lines, why did Japanese TV do it that way?
どうして
そういう技術はあったんだけれども、そういうお金がかかった。
It cost money to do it the other way.
シンクロのキャメラだとお金がかかるから。
The synchronization camera cost too much money. Another story I heard is the cameras they were using would make a lot of noise. So
A lot of Ultraman was on location, whereas American TV at the time was in sound stages where they could control everything. So they were really on location for a lot of the except when they were in the headquarters or something like that. But the rest of it is like outside. She does.
She does.
You didn't like that one. Now, I once talked to Mitsuta, the director who did that episode, and he felt a little embarrassed by having to use a Godzilla costume, like it was a hand-me-down costume.
And that was Nakajima as Jiras.
Yeah, you.
Knowing now that you had to redub the episodes, did you guys ever make jokes like, let's not try to dub us as bad as the Americans do?
Oh,
That's a difficult question.
そのエピソードを変えてた時は、アメリカの日本語の
So she's never actually seen the American episode, so it's hard to answer the question. But
just American dubbing in general of Japanese.
Do you ever see?
You know what kind of answer you're going to get.
ありますあります。はい、ウルトラマンです。
She's seen some in the Ultraman.
私の藤明子の声は私よりも吹き替えの方が良かった。セクシーだった。
She thinks the voice that they used to dub her was sexier than her real voice.
でも成田さんの声は黒部さんの方がいいかなと思いました。
But she thinks Kurobe-san's real voice is much better than the guy who dubbed.
それはお世辞です。
Oh, that's just a lie.
11 years ago, 12 years ago, she met Peter Fernandez, who dubbed Speed Racer and was in charge of dubbing Ultraman. Pretty good.
I've heard for Sakurai-san that on your days off you would actually be wearing a Science Patrol uniform out and about. Is there any truth to that?
It's true.
撮影でやってない時はコスチューム、
着ぐるみ。
休みのそのコスチュームという話を。
隊員服を。No, 着てない。もうトゥーファットで着られない。
She says, yeah, well, you got it. I'm too fat, I can't wear it anymore.
Relaxed time, you wear a costume.
当時それは全員みんなコスチュームっていうか隊員服を着てランチ食べに行ったりいろいろしてましたよ。
So they did have occasions where they'd all be still in uniform and go have lunch or something.
It's true. 2 more questions. Let's see. Let's see if anybody had. You asked one?
No, he did.
Okay.
This question, 2 questions actually. This question, first one's for all 3 of them. After the original show ended, 39 episodes, did you go on to do other things within the same genre?
最初の39話が終わったら同じジャンルの怪獣とか SF をやりました。
ニューとかニューバルタ星人とかやりましたけど、そういうこと。
まあ俳優さんとしてそのやつそのような
他の役を。
ああ、やったかもわからないね。
Maybe I did. I don't know.
帰ってきてウルトラマンとか出てる。
She said, "You were in Return of Ultraman," and you just said, "Yeah."
それで何年後かわからない。つい最近なんですけれども、4年か5年前ぐらい、もっと前でしたっけ、マックスは。
About 4 or 5 years ago, they also were in Ultraman Max, which we were talking about.
で、黒部さんと2人で久しぶりにウルトラマンマックスに出て、非常に楽しかった。
She had a lot of fun. It was the first time she'd worked with Kurobe in a very long time. So it was a good thing.
兄弟みたいな感じがして。
They were like brother and sister.
その頃は芝居が上手くなって口が合ってたって言って
でも。
Who would win in a fight, Ultraman or Godzilla?
You just said that 戦いがあればどれが勝つ How do you say it? 勝つどれが勝つウルトラマンかゴジラウルトラマンとゴジラ
ウルトラマンとゴジラのどっちが
ゴジラの方が強いと思います。
Godzilla is stronger.
中に入ってる中島春夫さんという方が東宝のみんなの大先輩なんですよ。だからあの人に勝っちゃいけないという後輩の辛さがある。だから本当はウルトラマンの方が強い。
Okay, Haruo Nakajima is their senior by many years at Toho, so there's no way they could beat him. But really, he thinks Ultraman is stronger.
彼はもう80過ぎてもうちょっとで死んじゃうんだから今戦ったらウルトラマンの方が強いです。
He says that guy, but now Nakajima-san is over 80, so pretty soon he's going to die. So of course Ultraman would beat him. So
Okay, we have to wrap it up, so let's again thank our guests.
I have one special request from the room first. And I have one special request from my guests.
Oh yeah, from now on, please remember Ultraman.
We have one special request from our special guest in the room. We have one of your nemesis back in the rear of the room and would like, is he asking for the honor of fighting Ultraman?
Taking a Imaskara. He's having a hard time getting it. Now we're gonna have a real fight. We're gonna really do it. It's gonna be like one of those kaiju big battle things. So they're gonna post for some pictures. So we'll let everybody get the pictures they want to get.
So let's thank the Science Patrol and Ultraman. Absolutely wonderful.
Isn't that sunset lovely?
Yes, and now that the monster's gone, I can enjoy it.
Okay, let's head home.